Good morning and welcome everyone. My name is Hossam El-Samman. I'm a doctor of business administration and academic researcher in Westfield University College in Dubai. And I'd like to thank Mindanao State University for organizing such a conference and allowing or inviting us to represent our research or papers with you today. Let me introduce my paper and share it with you. My paper called The Interconnection Between Change Management for CSR by Utilizing Green Marketing Strategies and Impact on Consumers' Perception, a Systematic Review. For the research background, the pandemic outbreak has been a substantial challenge for many organizations. Thus, adopting new strategies and change management processes has been essential during this time to add an extra sustainable advantage among their competitors. The research paper reviewed the new change management strategies during pandemic by implementing CSR policies as a part of adoption new strategies to tackle with the current crisis. Going to theoretical background of research, and we're gonna define the organizational changes. A change is a process sense is a planned or unplanned response to pressure and forces as a first step towards successfully managing organizational change. And it should understand the different types of change that organizations face. The paper considers the two dimensions of change management. The first is the scope of change, incremental change. And the second is the strategic change. Going to incremental change. Incremental changes are changes that focus on individual components with the goal of maintaining or regaining business consistency. This definition of incremental change. While strategic change is change that addresses to the whole organization or including strategy or strategic change, it's occur in response to an external event or series of events that what happened as a response for COVID-19 pandemic outbreak. So the paper reviewed the two dimensions of change management during the pandemic and why the organization or the corporate has to change or has to conduct change management process based on two dimensions, the incremental changes and strategic changes. The research spots that before you conduct any change, you have to identify change factors. And change factors lead us to make an analysis or a tool. It's called force field analysis or force field theory. And it's all about changing the balance in order to make change happen. Therefore, organizations need to change the balance or equilibrium. And most of organizations found the driving forces were more than restraining forces. That means that change is necessary to tackle with current situation. As we see in the diagram, the organizational goal consists of two forces. You have restraining forces and driving forces. That's why conducting force field analysis in that case was essential or mandatory. If restraining forces, calculated restraining forces is above or higher than driving forces, it means no need to change. But in our case, during pandemic, most of organizations found that the driving forces or the pandemic situation is must, is a compulsory, is a necessary to conduct a strategic change of management. And in that case, we called it adaptation change of management by adapting CSR policies or strategies to survive or to, again, gaining more market share or giving more organizational performance or financial performance. Also, in theoretical background for the paper, we have two theories, the old debate between CSR and shareholder theories, Freeman and Friedman. This old debate between the two definition of CSR and shareholder theories. The researcher reviews the papers related for both theories, like Friedman and Freeman, which CSR promoting for this business should consider the community and environmental prospects aside with profit. So it's not only profit, it's a profit, it's a planet, it's a people as well, like a triple bottom line theory. Unlike the shareholder theory, stated that gaining more profits in a legal way is most important goal for the organization. So for shareholder theory, only focus on gaining profits with no consideration for planet, for environmental. But in CSR, and in particular, after the pandemic and the crisis or the current situation, it was mandatory to consider environment, to consider people, the community, not only the profit. And when we saying CSR, we have internal and external as well. We have internal and organization or employee, and external as stakeholders. Going for creating shared value or CSV, Professor Michael Porter and Professor Kramer in 2011 argued that companies can move beyond corporate social responsibility and gain competitive advantage by including social and environmental consideration in their strategies. So we can say here, CSV or creating shared value as a modification, as an update, a development of CSR theory. Professor Porter developed the CSR. So CSR is not all about philanthropy. It's not all about charity. No, CSR can gain profit. CSR can give you the competitive advantage among your competitors. This is the CSV, or creating shared value development of CSR theory. How come? As companies should create a tailored rather than a generic, a tailored corporate social agenda and provide a practical tool to chart that agenda to identify those areas of social context with the greatest strategic value. So, as we said, it's different from company to company, from organization to organization. You have your strategic value, you have your strategic target, and the company should tailor or compromise the agenda to achieve that target. That can happen through redesigning products and markets as well, or redefining value chain, productivity, and enabling local cluster development. So some organization we spotted or we founded They recreate products like green technology, green products, green marketing campaigns, or new market segments to redefine the value chain productivity or to have the competitive advantage. So it's called CSR and green marketing as well. And that's what exactly happened through the pandemic by launching new environmental campaigns and new green technology, etc. Going to the paper objective or research objective. The main objective of research is to address the relation between change management after pandemic by adopting CSR policies and applying green marketing and the impact on consumers' perception of the oil and gas lubricants field in United Arab Emirates. Also to determine relationships of corporate social responsibility, green marketing strategies, and organizational performance. And here we are saying organizational performance is organizational financial performance, how to add a market share, how to increase your product profitability. Also to critically and systematically examine if there are any similarities or differences found through the primary data in relation to the literature review. Aiming by to develop useful recommendations for lubricants industry experts in order to cope with the different serious challenges nowadays. So it's not only to highlight or determine the relation between change management or the organization which adapting or applying adaptation change management style to CSR, but also to give like a roadmap, a manual, a handout for experts or for industry experts how to tackle with this kind of critical situations through applying or launching new techniques or new green marketing strategies and by adapting or by applying CSR. For research methodology, preferred reporting items for systematic review and meta-analysis used to conduct a systematic literature review, which is called PRISMA. In the last 11 years, since 2010 till 2021, the researcher has reviewed the academic series, topics, and methodologies to highlight all of these topics, CSR, green marketing, and organizational performance, collaboratively rather than individually. So the point here, how to find the relation, okay, as a group between three factors or three series, how to bridge the gap between them, not individually. The report reviewed 99 academic papers from 3 resources. Elsevier, it was 26 paper, Schemagos was 28 paper, and Google Scholar, it was 45 paper. For research paper, it's based on 2 pillars. First is the relation of change management and CSR as a first pillar, and it was 35 papers. Second one, CSR and green marketing, and it was 64 pillars. 3 papers were removed because of replications, and 2 papers were excluded due to different fields. One was in education, and the second was in financial sector. The inclusion criteria for the research reviewed paper theoretical background, and the field was studied should be in strategic management and marketing. Also, it's considered empirical research or sequential explanatory mix methodology. Reliability and validity test value was one of the most important inclusion factor for our PRISMA systematic review. Going to findings, results spotted a shortage in previous research output to investigate change management, CSR, green marketing together. Moreover, the literature highlights the link between CSR and green marketing strategies. And the paper defines the gap of literature on change management concepts and CSR in a new normal era or after pandemic. Going to conclusion. The paper indicates that the adoption change management strategy by implementing CSR policies and green marketing as a strategic change towards pandemic situation added a positive impact and enhanced the organizational profitable performance, also enhanced the organizational image and increased the sales capacity and overall organization effectiveness. Here, I'd like to thank you for your listening. Hopefully you found the paper is useful for you. For the full paper, I will be happy to share it with you. Thanks again. Thanks one more time for Mindanao State University and for the conference. This was Samman, and I'd like to say thank you, and I'm done for the presentation. Thank you.